want you to give that same massive welcome, only now it's got to go a little bit higher again. It's Marjolein, come on up, Need to Bleed.
Thanks, Elliot. That started out really reducing my nerves and then they like ramped right back up again. I'd love to start with a story. So, picture this. 16-year-old, incapacitated in bed, in so much pain, vomiting a little bit. Classic 16-year-old, main concern, missing the birthday party of the most popular person at school. I'd like you to think about, it might be you or a loved one, but do you know someone who suffers from period pains? If you feel comfortable, you can raise your hand. I'm very happily do that. Great, so we can agree it's a pretty common issue. And I'd go so far as to say that it's been normalized. We accept it as part of being a woman. But did you know that normal and acceptable levels of pain shouldn't interfere with your everyday activities? So the sufferer might need a painkiller, but she definitely shouldn't need to miss school, work, or a social occasion because of the pain. So back to our 16-year-old. She's now 19, living with friends. She regains consciousness in surroundings that she doesn't recognize, and there's shards of glass around her. She realizes that she passed out on the way back from the bathroom from pain, and she knocked over a 2-meter tall mirror on the way down. Severe period pain is a warning sign from the body, and it deserves to be investigated. In fact, all debilitating symptoms around periods, I'm talking severe mood swings, digestive symptoms, bloating, these all deserve to be investigated. And actually something that we don't tend to learn about is the incredibly beneficial impact of female hormones when they're flowing in harmony. They can be great for mood, they can be great for metabolism, and they are vital for bone health. So this brings me to last week's Guardian article. You might have read it, but the take-home message was that women can take the birth control, well, not the pill necessarily, but take hormonal birth control indefinitely to suppress their period. And it doesn't matter because there are no health benefits to periods. Now, our 19-year-old, she's now 27, and she would love to buy into this premise because she needs something to manage the pain. She finds herself in the dentist's office, locked in the tiny bathroom, and she's doubled over, barely able to stand, sweating profusely, a bit like today in London. She curls down on the floor and lies down and presses her face against the cool floor to get some relief. She's been cycling different kinds of birth control, working with her GP to try and manage her symptoms. But this is where she finds herself, 27, at the dentist's office. She has to call her mum to come and pick her up, not feeling very strong and independent now. So don't get me wrong, because I think hormonal birth control has revolutionized how we live as women. But my main criticism of this Guardian article was the suggestion that suppressing this inconvenient occurrence had no impact on your health. And suppressing these symptoms rather than investigating them was a desirable outcome. Now for me, that doesn't make sense. That's like you find a massive crack in the wall and you're like, oh, I'll hang a painting, that's fine. The crack's still there, it's probably getting worse. And it's the same thing if you have underlying issues that you're not investigating. The period, it's not a standalone event, okay? It's part of a monthly cycle. And in order to suppress it using hormonal birth control, you're stopping communication between your brain and your ovaries. You're not producing your own hormones. We've already discussed, they're pretty helpful. So the suggestion that to totally suppress it, that makes no sense to me. That makes no sense. Hormonal issues, period problems, these deserve to be investigated. You deserve to find out what's going on. So the protagonist, finally at age 30, she's diagnosed with endometriosis. which is a condition that affects 1 in 10 women. How do you diagnose endometriosis? And this is the best way of doing it, by the way. 1 in 10 women. It's an invasive surgical procedure. So I think it's time for us to do better and listen to women and listen to their health issues. Thank you.